Okay, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing your full moon in Aquarius August 19 prediction. This is going to be me discussing collective energies and also giving my recommendation for the 12 signs. So there's going to be timestamp provided. I do not know which channel I will be posting this video on. I'm recording it also kind of late. I'm recording it on August 12th. But you know, I'm going to be probably posting it today too. So essentially check for your rising sign first and then check your sun and moon. Again, I will do my best to see what could potentially happen, you know, what's the energies I'm channeling for this full moon. Again, this is a very big week. I think this is the energy you're going to be feeling already on August 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is not the kind of full moon where you feel it, you know, only on that date. This video is going to cover this entire week because we have some very major configurations that are occurring and already activating this full moon. So anyway, let's talk about this. So again, like I said before, we will be feeling this energy already. You know, I'm recording this on Monday. We can already feel this energy because there's a lot of major placements that have been activated with this full moon. So the full moon itself occurs on August 19 at 27 degrees of Aquarius, which is opposite the sun that we have currently at 27 degrees Leo. Now, this full moon is interesting because first of all, of course, right the day before this full moon, we have Mercury cazimi, which essentially is Mercury conjunct the sun. So Mercury, which is currently retrograde, is conjunct the sun and opposite this full moon. Also, something that actually kind of stood out to me is that the sun is going to be conjunct Vesta asteroid. Vesta, it's kind of like an interesting asteroid. It deals with things like devotion, what we feel devoted to, where the fire of our devotion burns bright. And Vesta is in Leo too, and it's going to be conjunct sun, and it's going to be aligning in with this full moon. So very interesting full moon for sure. And of course, you know, I haven't even mentioned, see, like there's already so much going on. I haven't even mentioned that this full moon is squared Uranus in Taurus, which is at 27 degrees as well. Again, I use, obviously, if you haven't figured it out yet, Western tropical. So what a configuration. You have this full moon squared Uranus. The sun is currently conjunct Vesta, and Vesta is a more of a minor happening here, which of course we still want to pay attention to it. I'm very curious actually how it's going to play out. And Mercury, which is retrograde right now, is also in Leo, opposite this this full moon and squaring Uranus. So this is a lot already happening here. And Uranus deals with shocks. It deals with changes. It deals with, you know, just not so long ago it was conjunct Algol, and this conjunction is still active. Now, you know, before we go into the 12 signs, I just want to say that, you know, just even looking at this full moon, you know, which there's more to add to this full moon, I think that of course there could be something very shocking happening in the world. I mean, it's like it's constantly happening, but I think especially one figure in particular, you know, presidential candidate currently, Donald Trump. We have to pay attention to what's happening with him. In general, American politics, there will be something in the American politics that could be shocking happening. I don't know. I really hope, you know, he's going to be safe during this full moon, because there were already some things, you know, reportedly, you know, happening with his plane and everything like this. I honestly, genuinely sending prayers and hope everything's okay. But I think what could also occur, there could be shocking news, shocking revelations that could come out about the attempted assassination that took place just a month ago. It was, I think, right? So again, it's like there could be a lot of clarity that could be coming through right now, and again, it could be very shocking. That's the one thing about it. Looking how it's still not too far from Algol, you know, it could be very much about the events that occurred last month. You know, we could find out something. There could be a scandal, something that is shocking, that, you know, shake up our nation. Talking about, by the way, earthquakes and things like this. I've given this prediction, I think, when I was doing predictions just in general for 2024, when I was doing my webinar for 2024. And I think I said this for July, that the entire region that I'm seeing, specifically Hawaii, California, Japan, it has to be careful. And I think just recently, right, Japan issued megaquake or something like this warning. And yes, a major earthquake is something that I've been predicting also even a couple of years back. I actually was following this guy like I was getting these visions, and my also initial prediction for Uranus in Taurus conjunct Jupiter was that there will be the beginning of some earthquakes. I mean, it didn't really play out like this, but I've been following this guy. I think his name is Nomad Canadian or something like this, and he's been posting about this for years too. I think it is something that is still in the process of getting activated. Of course, prayers, and like I hope nothing like this happens, but there is a potential for it. Essentially, what we see with astrology is potential for certain things to happen. And one of the reasons, by the way, I could have posted much more predictions for the world, which I think probably I kind of have no choice now, but I'll start doing. But I do not enjoy making negative predictions, which is why I've been very, very silent, past few years, because I do not enjoy, being the negative Nostradamus. I personally do not enjoy making negative predictions. I do not enjoy, doom and gloom and then saying, "Oh, look, exactly as I predicted." I don't enjoy this. There are astrologers who do this. Again, I'm not saying that they are necessarily enjoying it, but to me, the whole fact that I'm even seeing some negative vision, and then it manifests, and then I'm like, okay, look at this. This is what I predicted. I don't enjoy this, but unfortunately, it's like a lot of we're still, I think, for the next few years, this planet is going to be going through a lot. It's just what it is. So, we'll see what happens. I will post some videos, my predictions for Neptune and Aries, etc. We'll see how it goes, because again, I just generally do not enjoy speaking about this or focusing on that so much. We have enough news and everything else, but at the same time, it's impossible to do collective astrology without talking about this thing. So it's kind of tough spot to be. Having said all that, yes, there is something, again, if you are in a part of the region, Hawaii, California, Japan, I understand it's not the same region, but it's kind of all on that side, from west, far east. No, it's not far east, but you understand, right, what I'm talking about geographically. Be more careful, because I do think that, again, I was predicting this for July. I thought it was going to be more so taking place right around Mars-Uranus conjunction, but I think it's more, it's unfolding more so now. So it's, in August. It's a little bit later. Again, really hope that maybe it will not have to happen at all, but yeah, so you be careful with that, because I do think earthquakes, some kind of aftershocks could be part of it. Pay attention to what happens with American politics. Biden also has, I said this before in a previous video, has a very weak period in his chart. Actually, right now, I think it's activated and it's going to be lasting through September. I don't know exactly how it's going to manifest. Again, I don't like predicting any terrible, particularly things, but let me just tell you, he's about to enter into the weakest period of his chart. For Aries, again, we'll do presidential. I know I need to do presidential video, but elections. But for her, she's at the strongest period in her chart, which, by the way, is going to end before the election. So I'm just going to put it out there. Not to give away too much. So yes, as you can see with this full moon, there is a lot already happening. Now, I haven't even mentioned the fact that this full moon is occurring at the same time as we are having Mars and Jupiter conjunction in Gemini, and Jupiter is going to be exactly squared Saturn at the 17th degree. So 17 degrees of Gemini, 17 degrees of Pisces is activated at the time of this full moon. So this is very, very massive. And I think, to me, Saturn and Pisces talks about activity, activity that has to do with oceans, ships. So everything related to that. There could be some some tensions, which we see this happening already. Different U.S. ships were deployed to the region where there is conflicts happening. And Mars and Jupiter in Gemini has to do more so with air, things that are happening in the air, like planes, helicopters, things like this. Again, this is so not me that I am not traveling anywhere, this summer. But I made a conscious decision. Honestly, the best time to travel was early June. But I made a conscious decision for myself, looking at all of this astrology, that I'm not going to go anywhere in July or August. Like I literally, stay home the entire time. And if you are traveling, I just want to tell you, be careful, because again, there's something here with this very disruptive influences, partially because of square by Saturn. So we want to be careful if we are traveling. And at the same time, this is the kind of energy that could bring, unfortunately, I really hope nothing crazy like this will happen, but there is both air and sea, escalations where whatever there are conflicts and issues and problems. Also, something that could be occurring again with this Jupiter in Gemini square in Saturn and Pisces is, yes, there could be again, what was it, crowd strike? Was it June, July? There could be something like this again, even on a bigger scale taking place. So be very careful when traveling. It's Mercury retrograde, but this is not your normal Mercury retrograde. There's so much more happening at the same time. Be extra careful. Another thing that I want to mention, which is already you see a lot, right? Another thing I want to mention is that in August, and especially right around this full moon, we are having something known as South Node conjunction to Black Moon. Again, this would be a much more minor conjunction. However, I do not like the energy of Black Moon. I'll be honest, again, yes, it does have certain value, especially in personal, more evolutionary astrology. Black Moon does show us where we can reclaim our wild side and the villain within and all these other things. However, on the collective level and not on a personal level, I absolutely do not like whenever Black Moon makes conjunctions or aspects to whatever it is. Again, here it's hypothetical points, right? Black Moon, Lilith, and South Node, but I do not like whatever it makes, whenever it makes conjunctions. Usually it represents some kind of darkness erupting. Now, South Node in Libra, I said this before the ingress of nodes even occurred. I said this, I think, in May of 2023, or if not earlier, that peace in the world with South Node in Libra is going to be very, very shaky. Because what is South Node? It constricts, right? It constrains, it shrinks. Libra is peace, diplomacy, things like this. What is North Node, head of the dragon, right? It explodes things. Aries is the warrior. Aries is wars. Aries is conflict. Aries was where people are just, angry. Anger literally could be represented here. And here with this already very shaky, energy, you have Black Moon now making, getting into this close conjunction with South Node. I do not like this, is all I'm gonna say. There's a lot of, in the world, there's a lot of alliances and agreements which are very fake. And, people who cannot see through it, it's just, I was asking yesterday, where do I find the audacity? But also, sometimes I think maybe it's good to be naive or not, because it's like really, kind of like the more naive you are, the easier life is. So I do not like this conjunction. So very shaky week, very, very shaky week. Take care of yourself this week. On a personal level, of course, we're going to see through some things. Like we're going to see what's not true in our own life. There could be some nervous breakdown. Like I've had a nervous breakdown actually a few days ago. Yeah, I was experiencing this already a few days ago, having nervous breakdown. But at the same time, on a personal level, we can see clearly through where we maybe disowned our power, where we need to stand up to ourselves, express ourselves, defend ourselves if we need to. We can see very clearly, perhaps, where there's a major clarity in general that's coming up. Definitely with the time of the full moon, with this Mercury Kazimi, it's like you see something very clearly. You no longer hide, and there might be a shocking change that you don't even, anticipate. Something where it's just overnight you are done with something, or overnight you are ready to finally make that change. So yes, definitely it is a week we all are going to feel on some level, on a massive level. And my personal advice, I guess, is that sometimes crisis occurs so that things could get better. It's like, sometimes, you're having this breakdown, or you're having this fight with your partner, or something you've been suppressing, and major clarity also comes through. You either understand how you can heal it to make a relationship better, to make something in your life better, or you understand that it's just beyond saving and you're much better off starting over somewhere else. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us will gain this clarity this week, where there's something in our life that could break down, and it's going to be our choice. Do we want to build this better, rebuild this, or do we want to build something new? Again, don't be scared of your own darkness. This will be playing out in different areas of your life, which I will go through for each. Again, watch for your rising sign first, then sun and moon. But anyway, good luck this week. Fingers crossed, everything, will happen the way it needs to. Fingers crossed everything will turn out for the better. And anyway, let's go into the 12 signs. Okay, so for Aries, this full moon in Aquarius occurs in your 11th house of friendships, of long-term goals for yourself, communities you're a part of. Of course, the Sun opposition and where Mercury retrograde is your 5th house of romance, dating, love, self-expression. So this is the moment where something could happen, where there is a change. What you see for yourself in terms of long-term goals, which community you are a part of. Do you feel like you're surrounded by the right people? Clarity about your community, people, your group of people you surround yourself with. Major clarity about them. And there could be some shocking change you don't anticipate. Something that could just suddenly occur and you're like, you know what? Like, I'm starting over in some way in this area of my life. I want to be more free. Maybe you realize you want to be more free. Maybe you realize you want more choices in terms of, who you date, how you express yourself, your creative projects, businesses. There is something here where, maybe even there is a certain chapter that's closing when it comes to, again, the goals you set for yourself. Maybe it's time to set new goals. Maybe you always had a goal to achieve something, finally you did it, and now you're realizing you want something completely else. And of course, because we do have also South Node and Black Moon conjunction in your 7th house of relationships, some of you might see how certain relationships you maybe were part of were not for, were not for the better. You maybe were choosing a wrong partner. Maybe you are drawn to some people who are a little bit crazy even, and you are like, okay, what's happening here? I have major clarity who I'm dating, the kind of partners I'm choosing, and there is something as a result of that with your long-term goals, friends, that is going through a massive reevaluation. Maybe you realize that it's just your community or people you're friends with, the kind of guys they date, the kind of girls they date. You don't want to be anymore having anything to do with it. Honestly, can play out on many different levels here, but definitely a major change, a major realization when it comes to friends, communities, and also your long-term goals could occur during this time. Good luck, Aries. Let's go to Taurus now. Okay, for Taurus, full moon in Aquarius is in your 10th house of career, of social status. At the same time, there is Mercury Cazimi taking place in your 4th house. Yes, a 4th house of home and family, of your very foundation in life. So Taurus, especially those of you guys who have planets, in the last 5 degrees of Taurus, you will feel it a lot, because there is something where you yourself are going through a massive change right now. And, everything with your career, your home life, it's like it is connected. Maybe you realize that you cannot continue on this career path anymore. You've changed. Like 5 or 10 years ago when you started the project or started the job, you were one person, and yes, it made sense then. Now it no longer makes sense based on who you are. Actually, I'm a Taurus, 24, 25 degrees Taurus sun, and this resonates with me so much. You have no idea. So yes, there is a massive realization. Also, how I read, right? Like whether it's astrology or tarot, I always take notes of omen. As I was saying that, there was a mosquito on my leg that I just killed, But like, you might realize that maybe there are people who you've been carrying on your back, whether it's partners, whether it is, let's just say you are in a work partnership and you're the one who's doing all the work. You're carrying other people on your back, or maybe you are just in the environment where people constantly drain you of your energy, of your life force, of your talent. So you're gonna decide to get rid of mosquitoes, so to say, just like I did right now. Could be very much. So definitely, Taurus, pay attention to what's happening with your career, with your goals in your home this coming week, this full moon, because there could be some massive changes. Good luck, Taurus. Now for Geminis, this full moon is happening in your 9th house, which is actually pretty harmonious for you, because there could be just a realization, a massive realization, an aha moment, like wow, spiritual breakthrough, where you will understand something about your belief system, how it's influencing your thoughts, how it's influencing the way you communicate, how it's influencing pretty much everything. And yes, there is something here where you find restrictions, maybe somehow with your career path, where you are not allowed to fully go in the direction where you want to, but I feel like you're going to decide to break through those restrictions. You will choose to expand. You will see what's been preventing you perhaps to live the fullest life you can live, to fully, travel, be free, expand your mind. What mental blockages did you have? Uranus is still in your 12th house in Taurus. So you will see what mental blockages were there preventing you perhaps from, being truly the person you want to be. There is going to be this light that you will see, that it's like a massive realization. And again, for you, especially with the Sun, Mercury, Cazimi, Mercury is your ruling planet, you will see there is going to be again some breakthrough psychologically that could occur. Something about the truth, like the truth of who you are, how you show up, how you communicate. So good luck, Gemini. Definitely this is a time of massive revelations for you, and you expanding your mind and not going back to playing small. I'm not a Gemini, but I have 3 planets there. I'll be honest, this partially resonates on some level. So good luck. Let's go to Cancerian now. For Cancerians, this is happening in your 8th house of endings, death, rebirth, shared resources, partners, money, any kind of deep-seated trauma. So for Cancerian, there could be a breakthrough. Finally, you can see something very clearly about, some kind of previous trauma perhaps that you are unable to heal before, unable to let go. For some of you, this could be an ending you were scared of, like let's just say there was some partnership or some job or whatever. It was time to let it go and you were scared to let it go. This could be, honestly, this full moon in Aquarius could be the moment when you finally get the resources you need, get the clarity that you need, and you're finally able to say goodbye to something. For some of you, you could be receiving a payout or some kind of settlement that could increase the kind of resources that you have in your life. So money, you could receive, settlement, divorce settlement. You could receive money from, honestly, like this is the kind of energy that could manifest. Like, again, I'm not saying you guys are losing your jobs or something, but severance pay even could be, or something like where you're receiving the resources to deal with the ending that you're experiencing and to build up your new life. So because again, for Cancerians, there are some endings that are occurring this the next coming few months, and this could be very much the trigger point for that. So check out again for your other big 3. But yes, good luck, Cancerians. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Okay, for Leos, the full moon of Aquarius occurs in your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, alliances. At the same time, Sun, Mercury conjunction is occurring in your ascendant, or sun or moon, whichever placement you're watching this for. So major clarity about partnerships for Leo risings. Major. Like you will see clearly who is on your side, who is not. Again, I cannot, do Leo horoscopes as we in America are approaching, presidential elections without our, like some people love him, some people not so much, Donald Trump, who actually has this full moon very relevant for him, because I believe he is actually exactly 27-degree rising sign, or actually no, he's 29 degrees rising, and his Mars, I want to say, is at 27 degrees of Leo. So, gonna be very interesting what's happening with him. But there's going to be clarity who is on your side, who are your alliances, and who are your enemies, and what's up with them, kind of thing. So yes, it is going to be very interesting what happens right around the time. And again, there is going to be something that is revealed perhaps that makes it very clear to you what's happening with your partnership. If you are in a relationship, major clarity. If you are not in one, maybe what's blocking you from having one, what's even available to you, what is the better strategy to put yourself out there. So good luck, Leos. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Now let's go to Virgo. Okay, so for Virgos, this is the full moon that's taking place in your 6th house. So for Virgos, my advice is, there's Sun, Mercury, Cazimi happening in your 12th house. There is full moon happening in your 6th house. Take extra care of your mental health. Virgo and Pisces, which we'll talk about later, both need to be extremely careful with mental health. Like you are the 2 signs that are more likely to have nervous exhaustion, nervous breakdown. I am a Virgo moon, I am ahead of the curve. I already had a nervous breakdown last week. So, again, we want to be careful here. We don't want to overexhaust ourselves, right? I can give you some recommendations, of course. Less screen time, less caffeine, drink your chamomile tea, move your body, right? Do breath work. You are Virgo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's going to be massive clarity also how perhaps there are certain fears you have that might have been affecting your body in a psychosomatic way, right? Whenever we have certain fears, and sometimes it manifests as these knots in our body, like tough muscles. Get a massage if you can, Virgo, this week. It could be a great time to get massaged, to attend sound healings, all this kind of stuff. Again, I'm not really a medical astrologer, so I'm not going to be talking too much about this, but I think, yes, there could be on a positive level some kind of breakthrough that you could have with Mercury, Cazimi in the Sun, in your 12th house. So there might be something from your subconscious that could want to purge out during this time. I'll be honest, I've already experienced this. I think probably I'm just gonna, I hope there's no more nervous breakdown because I've had enough. There could be repressed traumas, repressed memories that could be coming out. So be very, very, very gentle with yourself at this time, because there could be, again, something that you literally stored so deep in your subconscious that you forgot even that it ever happened to you. It could be wanting to come out. It could be wanting to purge right now. Let it out, so to say, purge. Seriously, let it out. It could be amazing and great time to purge something that's just been there. And again, don't get scared. It's not necessarily, again, use your own, of course, discernment. It's not necessarily that it's like it's getting worse, because it could be feeling like it's a crisis, but really it could be just something that's ready. You are ready to release it. You are ready to let go. You are ready to talk about maybe this, whatever this is. But again, take care of your health, especially mental health during this time, your nerves, and let me know how it goes in the comments. Let's go to Libra now. For Libras, I don't know, I said it was some kind of accent. For Libras, the full moon is happening in your 5th house of love, dating, and romance. Clarity about creative projects, clarity where do you stand in terms of your creative self-expression, and also your goals. Are your goals aligned with the ultimate creativity? Maybe something with children could be there too. There's literally a child screaming. I don't know if you can hear this or not. So maybe something in the life of your child or children that could be, demanding a lot of attention, right? They scream, I think, or they loud, right? When they ask for something, it's stuff. So I don't know. I don't have children. No, honestly, I say this with a lot of relief from my heart, because I live around a lot of people who have children. And I'll be honest, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to enjoy myself. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, there's going to be clarity with children, creative projects, and aligning yourself with your goals. At the same time, South Node Black Moon conjunction is happening in your sign. So you might understand something about yourself, maybe accept some repressed part of yourself too, like, your villain self, so to say, entering your villain era. So let me know, Libra, how it goes. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, for my dear Scorpios, this full moon is going to be taking place in your 4th house, at the very, very foundation of your chart. At the same time, Mars and Jupiter conjunction is going to be taking place in the 8th house, which is the house of psychological breakthroughs. So this could be the time of massive healing, but at the same time, massive purge. Some repressed memories about childhood could come up. 4th house is the very foundation of your chart, so pay attention to what's happening in the life of your family members during this time. For some of you, there could be clarity about your maybe even childhood or family, or something that's happening with your property, place of living. Maybe you will decide to change something unexpected could come up to. Maybe you suddenly feel like, okay, I'm ready to sell that property. At the same time, Mercury Cazimi in your 10th house is all about your career. So clarity when it comes to career could be coming through at this time. All of that could be, of course, occurring with massive changes, shocking changes, things you do not expect to see coming, because your ruler here, Mars, is conjunct Jupiter in your 8th house of crisis and changes and transformation and unexpected things. So good luck, Scorpio. Stay safe this week. At the same time, I think there could be a breakthrough. There's a lot going on. You're ready to purge. You're ready to release something. You have clarity about why maybe certain things occurred in your life the way they did. Maybe you will even have a certain breakthrough. I had a nervous breakdown a few days ago, but it gave me a massive breakthrough about how certain things, certain patterns from my childhood, even family members, are still affecting in my life, even though I thought they were not. And again, take any kind of crisis that occurs right now not as like something, oh my God, why is this happening to me? But try and see how this is actually happening for you to improve something. Because with Mars Jupiter conjunction in your 8th house, there is some massive gold opportunities for some kind of gold, for some kind of alchemy moment, phoenix moment. And because this full moon is in the very foundation of your chart, this has to do with your very, very roots, with your very, very foundations, early childhood memories, early childhood experiences, your mother, your family, your home, your place of living. So this is massive. When this kind of two events occur at the same time, there is an opportunity to change something from the very core, from the very foundation. You could gain clarity on how to rebuild your life the way you want it this time. Sometimes we're building something, but the very foundation is not, maybe we're building in the wrong place. Could be sometimes very much that, right? Castle in the sand, where they have that, expression. Maybe we are not building our foundation right, and there's something here where you will see what is the root cause of maybe some blockage in your life, or why you are not able to attract what you want, manifest, create what you want. And again, there's this massive and very fast as well healing, because with Jupiter in Gemini that occurs, you can correct it, you can change it, and you can experience major abundance, attract something you wanted for a long time but maybe felt blocked. Okay, so Scorpios, let me know how it goes. I wish you a happy full moon, and let's go to Sagittarius. Okay, for Sagittarius, this is the full moon that occurs in your third house of communication, your mind, your neighbors, your short trips, your just thinking, how you think about things, how you see partially the world. Full moon is in the ninth house in Leo. Massive reevaluation about how you see things, massive clarity about something, some kind of blockage you might have had in terms of how you perceive reality, even perceive events around you, perceive people who are surrounding you every day, could change. You could gain clarity. You could suddenly like realize that, you know what, I might have been, you know, not seeing people around me clearly. And there's something that occurs with other people, like you are someone who is very active with other people now with Mars, Jupiter in your seventh house. There, you can see how maybe you with Saturn in your fourth, like maybe you misperceived people, or maybe you were not able to build certain solid partnership because of something from very long time ago. Maybe even something all the way from the childhood has been carrying on, and you were not able to create what you want in your life because of that. Maybe you were escaping, running away constantly from something. Whatever this is, you are having the clarity right now in terms of how to change your life. You're having the clarity how to change your thinking, how you change your communication. Whatever noise is around you, which could be very annoying, you see how to hear right through it. Now, you know, there's a lot of noise as I'm recording right now, your particular sign for some reason. You will see how instead of escaping something, block it all out, not be bothered anymore by what really doesn't matter or is irrelevant. So good luck, Sagittarius. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Okay, so for Capricorns, this is the full moon that's occurring in your second house of resources, second house of talent, second house of money. So there could be this massive clarity about where you stand with those things in your life. At the same time, Pluto is preparing to re-enter your Capricorn sign for the last time, you know, just, you know, in less than a month now. It was in 2 weeks, right? So you could see clearly where are your limitations. Financially, perhaps, because finances are important. So if there's been something financially that's been limiting, and at the same time, if you haven't been aware perhaps about resources of other people, help of other people that could be available for you, with Mercury Cazimi in your 8th house, you might actually get an understanding that, wow, there was this resource available to me, or help of this person potentially, or something about, you know, just other people's expertise, other people's talents, and you might just realize that, wow, I haven't tapped into that. How come? It's like, you know, when you know that, like when, let's just say there is this massive grant opportunity, like maybe one time in your life only you can get this, I don't know, let's just say $50,000 or something like this, maybe more, 100K, but it's one time only, and you have to like file in some kind of paperwork, but you didn't even know that this was available, right? And suddenly you find out, wow, I actually have this money hidden somewhere, and this is the resources that I need. So it definitely could be a positive, actually, you know, but it's and shocking too. Maybe you didn't even know. Maybe there was some money, you know, again, like some aunt, you know, great aunt, you know, left you. You had no idea it was even there, and now you're finding out. Hopefully that would be a very positive, you know, case scenario, because again, with Uranus there's that element of shock, like, wow, this was here and I didn't even know about it. So yeah, good luck, Capricorns. Let's go to Aquarius now. Okay, Aquarius, this is the full moon in your sign, so definitely those of you guys who are Aquarius risings, you're going to be center stage. Maybe because of something also your partner does. It could have to do with you, your partnerships too, because Mercury Cazimi is in your 7th house. But Aquarius, you guys will probably, yeah, you will surprise yourself in some way, because with this, you know, square of Uranus and Taurus from your 4th house, maybe something with your family, you know, maybe something with your place of living, there is a change. Maybe you finally decide that, you know what, I'm ready to move. I have a few clients who are Aquarius risings and moons. There was something crazy happening with them already over the summer, where they moved somewhere and only then decided, you know, stayed there for like 2-3 weeks, and then decided, you know what, I don't want to live here, I want to move back to where I came from. There could be something like there's, I don't know, some kind of alarm I'm hearing right now, that where maybe you realize where you moved or where you initially decided to go, maybe it's not that safe there. Hopefully that's not the scenario, of course, but I'm just seeing a scenario where you moved somewhere and you thought it was going to be great, and then you were like, you know what, I don't actually know if this is a good idea for me to be in this place. For some of you, it has to do with place of living that you're changing your mind about. Hopefully not. Again, you know, it's like there's different scenarios that could be there. But of course, there is a surprise. There's a surprise that you did not see coming, maybe with your family, with home. and what you choose to do. It gives you some clarity about your path overall. So let me know, Aquarius, in the comments what's happening. And now let's move to Pisces. Okay, for my dear Pisceans, this is the full moon, of course, that's taking place in your 12th house of subconscious, of endings. Wow, it is a big one. Just like Virgo, you, by the way, need to take care of your nervous system extra this month, because again, I said this in your August horoscopes, there is potential for overexhaustion or nervous breakdown, or just being exhausted, or unexpected things even that could occur. So you're one of the signs that has to be extra careful this month. Of course, also with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your sign too, which is right now squared by Jupiter and Mars in the sign of Gemini. So you, more than any other signs, yes, there could be some unexpected things around home. There could be some unexpected changes with work and career. There could be very busy. You could be exhausted because there are so many different things that you have to attend to, perhaps even at once. Pay attention to your health during this time. Even though it is hard, try to get some rest, because it's, again, I just see a scenario where you could be potentially busy with so many different things, but you have to take rest, to take care of your health, of your mental health, physical health. I'm also seeing an end. That's a major one that could be occurring during this time with full moon in your 12th house. And this is something that maybe, this is carrying over from back even 2021. When in 2021 we had Jupiter Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Yes, something that even was taking place then. There could be, a major closure that I don't want to say it was supposed to happen then, because obviously it was supposed to happen, it would have happened then, but it's time to close some chapter. Some of you might be even closing some kind of chapter with work, with career, with family, with home. There's unexpected changes in home. And if you guys have Aquarius placements as well, if you have Aquarius placements especially, there could be unexpected moving, or maybe you didn't expect to move and you move, or something changes with your home, and it's a big change, because maybe you were planning, okay, we're going to buy this house, we're going to live here, we're going to move to this country, or we're going to stay in this country, and then suddenly there's a change. So, and I think just because there's so much chaos, and I'm sorry, but you're one of the signs that's kind of more affected by this chaos, not necessarily, in the easiest way. Like Scorpio is also affected by chaos too. Even Cancerian is kind of affected by chaos, but it's a little bit more harmonious for them. For you, it's a little bit tougher on you, because there's a lot of demands, I think, that people place on you right now. So again, this is going to be a lot, but you will see clearly what you are meant to let go at this time. The only recommendation I have for you is please take care of your physical, mental health. Also, at this moment of time, take care of your back, your bones, your back. Be very careful with that. And again, stay away from overexhaustion. Again, I know it's easier said than done, but I just see a lot of, especially Pisces rising, especially if you have Aquarius placements too, there is this just, overexhaustion, Try to take care of yourself. Try to ask people for help, perhaps even. It's like with Libra, South Node in your 8th house right now. Help could be available, but there are people who might not be as supportive as they should be. So yes, maybe you need to ask. It's very hard, I think, for Pisceans. It's not an easy time. There is a lot is required of you to stand on your own feet and do a lot, and you might feel sometimes how it's too much for one person. So again, try to ask for help. Not everybody will help you, I'll be honest, but there will be some people who will. So good luck, Pisces. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know in the comments. Of course, feel free to check your other big three. Maybe, there's going to be some other news there. But yes, anyway, you guys, this is my prediction for this full moon in Aquarius. We touched also on Jupiter, Mars conjunction square Saturn. We touched on a little bit of this Mercury cazimi with the Sun. There's so much more to say about this. Honestly, I could talk about this for 5 hours, but I hope that this provided you with some clarity. Let me know in the comments down below what's going on. Check out my Patreon. Personal readings are available as of this moment. I love you all. I'm wishing you the safest, the most amazing full moon of Aquarius. Again, yes, it's a bit more shaky time in the world, but we have to stay positive. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Bye.